morning, everybody. Thank you, sir, for I'm so much honored that this August gathering I'm here. Because Indian Oil, I will be basically, because the second portion of this conference theme, that is the role of LNG for this CGD sector, that I would be actually speaking on. You know, already most of the data, sir has already told, Negi Saab has already told that what is the status of the, current status of the CGD industry, how is the EVs are penetrating in the CGD sector also. So all these things are there. There is a threat and lot of things. Like Indian Oil started LNG long back in 2006 from the Dahej terminal, and with only 2 customers. Now there are more than approximately more than 125 installations are there in the country. And daily more than 100 tankers are getting loaded at various terminals, like the Dahej is the maximum, that is approximately 40 tankers are getting loaded. And even these days, now the more capacities are getting added, because 40 is daily, and almost daily 2-3 tankers or something can be shortfall also. So you can see the inertia of this sector. Same is the case with the Ennore. Ennore also we are loading a lot of tankers. So total 100 tankers from Dahej, Ennore, Kochi, and the Dhamra also, approximately 3-4 tankers are getting daily loaded. So a lot of inertia is coming. And these are the, what is the growth sector? Because this seminar is for the CGD sector. So how far the CGD can utilize this virtual pipeline concept? India is a vast country. Every hook and corner, naturally the natural gas cannot reach this through pipeline. So this virtual pipeline concept is a very popular in Western countries also, in China also, and many other. And now it is taking a lot of inertia in the India also. In last, after this 9th round and 10th round of this, lot of, you can say, lot of facilities have been given by the government of India also, from PNGRB also. Earlier, there was a little gray area in the CGD regulation, that somebody feels that the only CGD company will be supplying LNG in the sector. Now it has been corrected in the regulation, and because that time it was written that other than the pipeline network, that they can supply through other means also, or through cascade also. Cascade is still there, but this thing has been removed now. So now it will get more inertia, because certain legal issues are still going on, but certainly finally it will be done. So this thing is one thing. And the other growth sector of the overall CG gas sector is the CGD is the main sector, where the demand is growing by 2-fold. Like what is the current demand, and by 2030 or 35, the demand will be multifold. In the CGD is the main growth driver for the natural gas industry. Other one is the refinery and petrochemical, where but there is a certain limit for this refinery as well as the petrochemical. And the third driver, which is the main driver, you can say, is the LNG as transport fuel. Transport fuel, lot of, we have been working on this sector for last more than 10 years. And now every regulation is in place, like ARI regulations are there, PESO regulations, PNGRB, everything is there. And lot of government support is also coming up for the LNG as transport fuel. So one thing is there, you know, currently 30 stations, LNG dispensing stations are commissioned, and 42 stations are at the different stages of construction, and it will be commissioned, I think, in next 6 to 8 months' time. So you can say approximately 70-75 stations will be there, which is very less as compared to the size of the country. And a lot of demand is coming from the truck operators. And you know what Negi Saab has just told, because for the CGD company, the CNG is the main bread and butter. And you know, there is a lot of impetus for the government to promote EVs. Currently, what CNG is basically consumed in the small auto rickshaw, small these cars only, so, and buses, city city buses. Like in Delhi, recently I was talking to someone in this DTC. He was telling even the we are telling that you please remove the CNG station from our depot, because now we are going ahead with the 100% electrification of the buses. So this is a demand which is coming down. Similarly, auto rickshaw, even if you'll see, particularly in small cities, more and more auto rickshaws are converting to the EV. The new auto rickshaw, if you are purchasing, it is coming to EV. So this is again a threat. Particularly, growth is there because of the size of the, because it is a very big 300, like 99% of the India is already covered. So certainly growth is there. But what happens, more and more charging stations are coming. Indian Oil itself has installed approximately 20,000 charging stations. Similarly, BPCL, HPCL, and other companies are installing every, colonies, they are installing. These offices are having their own charging station. Even my apartment in the Noida, now they have installed this charging station. Now, if you tell to the RWA, they will install for you also. It is like the situation is like that. So after 5 years, after 10 years, when the people will be buying a new vehicle, it is expected the people will be going ahead with a EV. Yesterday, I had a meeting in the Central Electricity Authority regarding this Andaman and Great Nicobar project. So they were telling, sir, we are going ahead with the EV. Now, they don't want this gas. I told you have already given the order to us, and now you are telling that this is the situation. So what they are telling is they are laying a HVDC line from mainland, from Paradip to Andaman. HVDC line will be laid by 2035 or 2040. That time, after that, I will not need the gas. So anyway, we have contested that, and we have given our arguments. But this is the situation. So what is the opportunities for CGD sector? I personally feel, you will say that because I'm promoting the LNG, but I feel every CGD GA should have at least 1 or 2 LNG dispensing station. Because small vehicles will eventually convert to the EV, or some of the vehicles will be converted to EV, not all. But long-haul trucking will require the gas or LNG. And I'm telling you, I'm daily getting some inquiries from sub-fleet operators regarding this LNG station. And now, because the LNG stations are limited, and the cluster development is going on, in a like steel cluster, cement cluster, and many other clusters are there, where these fleet operators or the cement companies are planning to set up the LNG dispensing station. Because CGD companies are not coming forward. So I feel that the CGD company should come forward. They should identify these clusters, and they should talk to the companies like Tata Steel. They are going to purchase around 500 trucks, LNG trucks. Recently, approximately, there is a booking of approximately 2,600 trucks is already there. Tata Motors also, Eicher, approximately 750 trucks. This Volvo already sold 120 trucks, and they have a booking of approximately 100 trucks they are finalizing. This Container Corporation has purchased 130 trucks, where we have set up one station, and now the GAIL is also setting up at the different location. So they are going ahead with the thing. So this is the big opportunity for CGD company, where you can set up the LNG dispensing station in your GA, some of the highway, or some cluster location. And then, because one of the currently what we are facing, the standalone station people are facing the boil of gas issues. So ultimately, like in Indian Oil, we have commissioned 6 stations, and now we are tied up with this local CGD company, like Torrent Gas, AGNP, and Megha Gas, and then MGL. So we have tied up with these companies for capturing of the BOG in their PNG network. This is already available with you. From the same stand, you can have the LCNG also in some charge area where pipeline is not there. So this is one big opportunity, I think, like you should capture. And if there will be approximately 700 to 1,000 stations in the country. It's 300, I think 7 or 10 GAs are there. If every GA will have 2 stations, only 2 stations, then around that inertia will come. That critical mass will come, and then everybody will be, I'm telling you, a lot of people will be purchasing the truck. Yesterday, approximately 20% is the difference between the price of diesel per liter to the price of LNG per kg. and the per kg vehicle gives approximately 15% more mileage. So the overall saving is approximately 30%. Bare minimum is 30% saving is there. And lot of steel companies, cement companies, and many other clusters are there, I can say, even particularly this Amazon type of commerce companies. They have this environmental, their targets are there, emission targets are there. So this is helping them. At the same time, they are saving also. So this is one area I think you can explore. I have spoken to the PNGRB also, कि sir, at least you give some target in your next. Anyway, everything is over now, but the targets are over. And now the LNG is traded at the IGX also. A lot of LNG is available. And after this unified tariff, you know, generally people feel, and they discuss with me, that LNG is costlier than the pipeline, this thing. But it is not like that, I'm telling you. In a unified tariff, if your plant is, or your requirement is only 150 kilometers from the terminal, it will be cheaper, I'm telling you. If it is 300 kilometers, yes, then it is challenging by road. But after the 301 kilometer, up to 400 kilometers, again it is competitive because of the unified tariff of the pipeline. So this option you can, and the another thing, like whenever we are supplying like LPG or other fuel, the main concern is the reliability of supply. Reliability of supply with pipeline is certainly, it is almost full. There is no reliability constraint. But you know, like around around 2 years back, there was a rupture in the pipeline. So, and there was one so-called unauthorized pipeline was there. That has saved this GA. So otherwise, the domestic PNG would be a big issue, a chaos in the GAs, some of the GAs. But I'm telling you, if you have at least 2 stations in your GA, depending on the size of the GA, bigger GA can have more stations also, smaller can have 1 stations also. You have some reserve stock available in the GA, which can connect to your network, and finally the domestic PNG can be supplied in case of any eventuality. And now, as now the APM gas is coming down, so certainly the LNG is approximately the same thing. So this one option or role of LNG has to be explored in your CGD companies. And what other things we are doing in LNG, thus I will tell you very briefly. One is currently what we are facing the problem, like Indian Oil and oil companies operate approximately 80,000 trucks. 80,000 trucks for the POL transportation, for LPG transportation, propane, and many other things. The people tell me, why you are not converting your trucks in LNG? The problem was that this LNG cannot be transported in a LNG fuel truck. This is the problem. POL cannot be transported in a LNG fuel truck because only compression ignition engine is allowed. Spark ignition engine is not allowed as per the regulation. But what was the problem? Why it was only compression? Because there was ignition is coming out from the exhaust in case of the spark ignition engine. So whenever this truck will move into the refinery or this move into the some classified this area of the hazardous area of a terminal or anything, so it can create problem, safety hazard. But after the BS4, this is not the case because it is a totally it is different technology. So we have taken up this thing with the government and we have fought for approximately 3 to 4 years, sir. And finally it has been done. And a draft notification is already issued. And what I am expecting that in next 1 month time, the final notification will come. So this LNG truck can transport LNG, LNG fuel truck can operate POL products also, the hazardous things also. So I think this will be done very shortly. The other area is the mining. So in many areas where the CGD is operating, like in Hazaribagh, particularly in Odisha, lot of areas are there where lot of scope for the mining sector. Like Indian Oil has introduced the LNG in mining sector way back in, I think, 2019 at Singrauli, with conversion of 5 dumper trucks. But the problem was that dumper truck has to come to the station. This was the problem. So what happens, we were after the PESO, ministry and many other bodies, DPIIT, finally the rule have been changed for mining sector, for just like, and for the railways also, and some other this type of applications where the equipment cannot come to the station. This Bowser, LNG Bowser is now, draft regulation is already out, and it will be done very shortly. In the same draft regulation, both the things will be covered, and we are expecting that very shortly it will be done. So the mining sector issue, because mining, what happens, sometime mining happening here, after 6 months the mining will happening at the 10 kilometers away in the some other area. So from, if I have made the station here, set up the station here, the dumper will not come all the way 25 kilometers just to get the LNG fuel. So this is addressed, this problem is also addressed after, I think, 4 or 5 years of efforts, and it will be done shortly. And similarly, like bunkering is one aspect where the particularly this, I will thank PLL also, because at the Kochi terminal earlier one bunkering has been done and another is already planned. We are already, we are in touch with the DG Shipping and other people, and they have finally made the regulation. OSD 245 was there. I was also the member. And then finally, a final SOP for the bunkering from the truck to the ship bunkering and from the barge to the ship bunkering and from the shore to the ship bunkering. This has been prepared and finalized after a lot of consultative process. So if I want, tomorrow if I want to do the tanker to ship bunkering, which I am planning very shortly at Kamarajar port, we will be doing one bunkering. So now the things are ready. Earlier the problem was there, the rules were not there. If I go to the DG Shipping, they are not allowing us. So now the things are ready. So wherever the GA is there and sub-terminal is there, you can also plan. Some like fishing boats are also there. Many other new like area we have to search for expansion of the gas. Because there in fishing boats, EV is difficult, but gas is possible. Thank you so much.